It's r2youtube.com. That's r number 2 youtube.com, and tell them Velvet sent you. Oh yeah.
Rasslin Rage. Rasslin Rage. Rasslin Rage. Rasslin Rage. Rasslin Rage. Rasslin Rage. Rasslin Rage.
Cody here from Rasslin Rage, and I am joined by the XICW Proving Ground Champion, Shogun, Jackson Stone. Jackson Stone, thank you so much for coming on Rasslin Rage today.
Well. Cody, what's going on? How you doing, man?
We're doing pretty good. Now, I got to ask you, I'm going to ask you a few questions, First of all, I want to say, I already said it, but I'm going to say it again. Thanks for coming on the show. We've talked numerous times about coming on the show. It's just, it's one of those things with the business. How it goes is it's got to be the right time. It's got to be the right time. And today was the right time.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
we did what we did what I like to call inviting tag. When every time we see each other, hey, buddy, what's up, man? Hey, we got to meet up for sure. Oh, yeah, definitely. Hey, next time it's my turn. Hey, buddy, man, next time we got to meet up. Oh, for sure. Next time.
Yes, amen to that. I mean, I can't even. There's been so many different shows that I ran into you. I ran into you at the Diamondback when Border City was over there. I ran onto you XICW every show, here and there. So now I want to real quick. This is pretty cool because I have never. There's a lot of guys in the state of Michigan that are doing indies and what have you, but you were recently. Now, to my understanding, you were on vacation supposedly, but you were wrestling. Don't be lying to everybody. You was out there wrestling, and you were out in Hawaii, and you wrestled in Hawaii. Did you not?
I got some good pouncing action over in the beautiful islands of Hawaii. Yes, and I was fortunate enough to work for US Wrestling, Unify Championship Entertainment, and it was headed by Rain. She's a very
it's a woman promoter.
Yes.
Oh wow.
And it's a couple actually.
No kidding.
Her and I want to pronounce his name. I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. Like, and it's spelled Aleki, and yeah, he's the Pineapple King.
Wow.
They both help run the promotion. Rain's been around for years, probably at least 10 plus for sure. I know that, but I'm thinking even more, like 15 or more.
Wow.
But Austin Aries is there. He's helping around. He's been helping for a minute. The show I was on was actually their second show.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's interesting. It's the island, and I mean, we don't hear a lot about it other than, vacation spot and what have you. So when it comes to professional wrestling, I would never even have thought, to be honest, that there was any professional wrestling on the island of Hawaii.
Man, my mission was, all right, if I can get some wrestling in, because unfortunately, Shogun's girlfriend told him, Shogun's woman, his love of his life, she's like, hey, there's some wrestling over there. You should definitely get some suplexing on your vacation. I'm like, you know what?
That's a good woman.
That's why I love you, and that's why. That's why it happened. So I shot over email to Rain, and she was very very nice. She was very responsive within the next couple of days. Then she said, "Come through, have a trial match, show me what you got." And I went over there. First off, the facility they have is beautiful. It's helped out by the Wild Samoans.
Oh wow!
And, yeah. So like Afo was there, and it was just cool just to get like some good like knowledge from him. Also Yoshi Tatsu, he made an appearance. He had a seminar with Su Young.
Oh wow!
And, yeah, it was, and like so I was very fortunate to get some things learned from both of them. Very important knowledgeable gems that you think and not say you think enough of what you should in the business, but it's always a little bit more to learn. It's always a little bit more to learn to get more better, to get better. And man, it was just an experience, brother. It was really, really an experience, and I can't wait to go back. Hopefully, I can go back.
Yeah, amen to that. Now, so I'm, piggyback off that for a second. I mean, you know, you go to Hawaii and like you said, the Wild Samoans were there, Sue Young, you know, and what's it like for you, you know, because first of all, most guys, they start out, you know, either they started out mat wrestling, amateur mat wrestling, or they started off in some type of, you know, sport that was, you know, grappling, whatever it may be. And they worked their way in, but, you know, they all started as a fan. Everybody starts out as a fan, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what's it like for you as something like that to go up to meet someone? My kid just walked in. Hey,
little one, what's up, buddy? The little suplexer.
There you go. So let me ask you, what exactly is it like for you when you go to somewhere like that and you meet these guys that you looked up to as a kid?
You know, it's interesting to rub shoulders with other wrestlers who are.
Right.
I wish I had his energy right now.
Right. Yeah.
But like, pretty much, it's a small world. It's so interesting seeing like Sue Young at the show, because I told her just a few months prior to that, Shogun was fortunate enough to be in Toronto for an Impact show and was actually handling everybody else's gear. So, you know, you always got to pay your dues in this business. It's always a continual thing. So I went over there. You know Johnny Bravo, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Head ref over at Impact was nice enough to say, hey, man, come over here for the opportunity to show your face. You can handle some of the gear, do whatever they need you to do. Just come through. So I came through. I started running back to gear. Sue Young comes out, and I did not know. You have no idea how much stuff this woman has. You had to take that. Oh my gosh, there's so much blood on this dress.
Wow.
But it was a lot of fun, and it was again for a dead individual. She actually is a sweetheart.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, that's pretty cool. You really gotta. I know for myself, I mean, and I'm not a trained worker or anything like that, but even still, it's still hard for me to control myself sometimes when I meet some of these guys, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and as you can see, there's an extensive list of people that I've met, but
impressive.
Yeah,
impressive.
it's still kind of crazy. Now, I
have a question for you real quick.
Okay.
Who is a person you have met recently, like you kind of had a little bit of a starstruck experience with?
Recently, the most recent that I had the starstruck one would have to be. It's always going to be Ric Flair.
Oh, yeah.
It's always Ric Flair. I always get choked up before I meet the guy. I've met him twice now. I'm going to go for a third time.
Nice.
But him, it's always the guys I grew up with. It's never like the new guys like Seth Rollins or, you know, like Charlotte Flair or anyone. Because I've met some of the new school guys and girls, excuse me.
Nice.
But it's always the people I grew up with. You know, Road Warrior Animal, Sting, you know, Ric Flair. I always get Mick Foley. I always get, you know, and funny story about meeting Animal is when you meet Animal, you can wear the pads, you know, with the spikes on them. Yeah, and he'll put them on you. And I was almost too scared and had my kid wear it. You know what I'm saying? And the whole time I'm standing there kind of like shaking a little bit, like, dude, LOD, Road Warriors. Oh my God. Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But all right. So with that said, you are the Proving Ground champion. Now, I've seen you defend this title, and there's an I wouldn't say it's odd, but it's a different set of rules for you to defend your title. Am I right for this?
Yes.
Now, let me ask, is it only you that defends this title this way, or is anybody that wins this title, hypothetically speaking, which we know is not going to happen. Let's say you do lose the title, but it's never going to happen.
I said, Cody, what you saying, man?
Right? No, it's never going to happen. But is it only you that has to defend the title that way?
This was a challenge that Shogun put on himself to prove literally the name of the title, literally prove himself to everybody on why he has this title. If a person chooses to do this afterwards, please go ahead. You know, but I decided to make this my own, and I thought, well, what's the best way to get the most out of everybody and get the most out of myself?
Right. So it's
this is a great way.
So let me ask. So it's before you can even do a pinfall on somebody, you have to suplex them 3 times, correct?
5 times.
5 times. Oh my
Right.
goodness, that's insane. That's a
Right.
lot of times. So 5 suplexes, and then you can go for a pinfall.
Yep. And
Now-
then there's been times that I got so caught up in the moment, like Kyle Maverick. I got so caught up in the moment, thinking that I had that 5th one. Just go straight for a pin. And they're like, nope. You need one more. And trust me, that is the reason why I did. Because here's the thing: if I can suplex somebody 5 times, I think I can get them down for 1, 2, 3 at least.
Well, I mean, a suplex has got it. I mean, at least one suplex already is probably taking a lot out of you. I mean,
Oh yeah, when you suplex people like a Madman Fulton,
oh
that's a lot
jeez,
of weight.
yeah, it is. That dude's huge.
You know, not to mention he's coming with some heat himself. So
Right, yeah. So 5 times, then you can go for the pinfall, but the other person can go for a pinfall anytime, correct?
yeah, they can go for a pinfall submission. I can lose the belt via count out, and they can knock me out with however they want. Like that's the thing. I want to make it as hard as possible on myself for it to be a tape.
Wow. So really, that is, like you said, it's exactly what the belt says it is. It's proving ground. So wow, that's amazing. I never would have thought of those kind of rules, but only Shogun can do something like that, right?
I will say the great Shao Kahn, for some reason, just came in my mind when I started thinking of it, and so that's why.
Yeah.
But I will definitely say, hopefully, I can get some more fun competition pretty soon. I mean, I'm thinking Aaron O'Ryan or maybe a Jack Price or hell, I mean, let's just say the whole DTA. Let's just put all of them.
Wow.
And I mean, hey, even I would love to see what 3 has in store. If he wants to come back with Movado.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be a good one too.
And Ridiculoso, somebody who I've yet to work, like just even try to suplex in XI.
Right.
I know he has a light heavyweight. Oh wait, does he? No, he does. He does have.
Yeah.
Man, that guy he is stacking up right now.
Yeah, he is. He's the new belt collector.
4 of them, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Wow. So let me ask you, what is something the fans don't know about Jackson Stone?
The one thing people, I would say, ask me frequently: what is the story with Lemonade? What is?
Yeah. All right, there we go. What's the story with Lemonade? Let's hear it.
Every time. You know what? Everybody wants to know what's the story with the citrus goodness I love. That's Lemonade. This is a story, Cody.
All right.
And it's very simple. Every time I drink it, I just feel like suplexing somebody. It's that energy. It gives me that willpower. That whatever Stone Cold Steve Austin had when he had that beer, I'm sure some alcoholic goodness probably kicked into that bloodstream. But whenever I have that rich vitamin C taste called Lemonade, I'm just ready to throw somebody as far as I possibly can.
Well, there's nothing wrong. So in essence, Lemonade is your equivalent to Popeye's spinach.
Very true.
All right, I like that. Good. So how long have you been active as a professional wrestler?
In professional wrestling, 4 years.
4 years.
January 5th was my 4th.
So you train at the House of Truth?
No, actually, House of Truth was kind of like an add-on for me to just sharpen up skills.
Okay.
I started down in Elyria, Ohio, which is near Cleveland.
Okay.
And Mega Championship Wrestling was the school that I started at.
Oh, okay. So that's Brandon and Xavier, correct? Yeah. Okay. Oh, we lost audio on you. Nope. I don't hear you. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Hold on. Let's try this. Are you there? Hello? Hello? All right, hold on. Let me call you back. There we go. I hear you now. I don't know what happened.
No, it's all good. The evil force is trying to get us, man.
It's all right. It's all right. All right. So we were talking about Mega Championship Wrestling, Brandon Xavier. You started down there in Ohio, right?
Right. Started in Ohio. I was there for about a year and a half. And then after that, I made the move back up to Detroit. And it's because I found out that Lou Thesz and George the Animal Steele was from Detroit. And for some reason, I started looking at more history. I'm like, oh, there's so much history in just back in my hometown.
Right.
And, of course, I want to become a hometown legend. I would love that, to be associated with that group.
Right. Yeah. Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
So how we talked about that. What generally you are, I don't know how to explain this, because there's a lot of guys that, and I've met a lot of people, but a lot of times in some indie shows, there's guys that don't even bother to talk to the fans. They don't bother to come out. They don't bother to do anything. And some of them aren't very nice. Now, granted, that's not everybody. Okay. I'm not going to put everybody. You're not one of those people, and that is for sure on that. And one thing that you're pretty well known for is your genuine ability, or not ability, but you're genuine with your fans. Like, you interact with your fans. You're out there during the halftime, or whatever you want to call it, intermission, after the show, taking pictures with your own phone. You know what I mean? How many times have you ever seen that? You know what I mean? I've never really seen that. I mean, that was the first time I've ever seen that. So is that something you've always done, or is that something that you really, that you've started to do recently? And why do you do that?
Well, honestly, wrestling is for everybody, and wrestling just is people interactive. And who am I as not only a wrestler, but also, I'll say, the champion of the promotion of XICW, or any promotion, to not go out and just interact with the people. We're going to interact with them anyway when I'm in that ring, so I want to come out and let people know, hey, in just a few minutes, you're about to see some epic suplexing that you have not seen at all day, all week, all month. So Shogun's going to give it to you. And also, too, Shogun's of the people. Right. Shogun's for the people. And I enjoy interacting with every single fan that I run across. A person to say, hey, man, I saw your promo the other day, and that was amazing. You blew my mind that well. To have people reply, well, when I walk out. Yeah. That gives me even more energy. Yeah. And so for me, I genuinely enjoy talking to every single fan I interact with. Right. Even the ones that say, hey, you know what, I can suplex you. I celebrate.
That's hilarious. Now, so speaking of promos, so you are probably one of the better folks in the industry, in the indies here in Michigan, cutting promos right now. That's my opinion.
Well, but, Cody, thank you so much, brother.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, I mean, anytime there's a Shogun promo, you got to check it out. It's funny that you say that, because I forget who I was talking to. There was a Blue Water show this past weekend, and I was talking to somebody about, I was talking with you and getting you on. And the first thing, that guy's promos are amazing. It was another fan, and that guy is awesome. And so they're really looking forward to your interview. So we talked earlier, you traveled to Hawaii, and you also go to Ohio quite a bit. And I believe Indiana as well. Where is somewhere you want to wrestle but have not yet? Mostly in the States, of course.
Hands down, I will say California. Southern California at that too, and of course Chicago. Those two spots would be like, those two states would be, or California in the state and Chicago in the city for sure, because they have so much activity going on. I mean, Southern California California has PWG. Yeah. Oh yeah. They also have a lot of activity from, like, Brian Cage is out there. I know Super Beast, a good friend and foe. He's out there, and also I see Holiday out there every now and then. Also, there's a guy named Tyler Bateman. Some about him. He's going to be on ROH pretty soon. I want to try to see why I can get out of him before he goes to ROH. There you go. But yeah, honestly, Chicago also, because of history in Chicago. I mean,
huge history. Yeah,
it's a hotbed right now. Yeah. You have MLW. You have goodness gracious, I believe Freelance out there.
Yeah, AAW.
AAW. There's so many spots out there, man. just to show your craft. That's the beautiful age that we're in right now.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, like I can now show people over in Finland what I'm up to, and I can see what they're up to.
Yeah.
Who knew that there were even wrestling promotions over there?
Yeah, no kidding. Right. It's a lot. You know what's funny? What's cool about it too is there's different wrestling fans. I mean, it's like they're not all the same. You know, not everybody likes the Bullet Club, and not everybody's all about our. You know, there's just so much. And I went to a Progress show when they did that dual tour with Evolve, and man, talk about a different set of fans, man. But it was an amazing show, and I had a blast. Real quick, March 2nd, Mega Championship Wrestling. You're going against Shane Taylor, man. Shane Taylor from Ring of Honor. I also believe he's done some work in New Japan. So
might get back out there too.
Right now, here it is again. We were just talking about this earlier. You know, you're doing these seminars, you're doing these things, and now you're hopping in a ring with a guy that's been on the Indies for, you know, several years now, and worked in Japan, which is a huge deal. And anybody you talk to that has been to Japan or wrestled in Japan will tell you it's a huge deal to go to Japan in any way, shape, or form, no matter what promotion it is. So what's it like for you? Well, first of all, tell us how it came about of you and Taylor getting in the ring, and then what is it going to be like for you to face somebody like Shane Taylor?
We ran into each other the night I won the Mega title about 2 years ago. We were in a fatal four-way. It was me versus Big Mo versus my trainer, Brandon Xavier, and Shane Taylor was in town. And we had a little bit of exchange. I still remember the Larry he hit me with. and that was it. But I came out on top, and I know Shogun knows in his heart of hearts that if I step in the ring with Shane Taylor, we are more than likely going to have an epic match that's going to either break a ring or at least
that'd be sweet,
or at least break something
right
around the ring. So it's one of those things where it's like you're, I guess you use the term like idols becoming rivals.
Yeah.
You know, and that's essentially what we are working for. Everybody from, you know, ground zero all the way up to the top. Like, we want to be the peers of our rivals. We want to be the rivals to the people that we looked up to.
Right.
Me personally, I know you talked about, you know, Ric Flair. You mentioned like a lot of guys you grew up with. I grew up in the Attitude Era and in that WCW Nitro phase. So for me, man, if I could get a chance to lock up with the likes of a Brian Pillman, you know, back, or a Bret the Hitman Hart. You know, I love him even more so in the Attitude Era because he was just so mad and angry.
Yeah, that he was.
That he was. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like, or I mean, I was, you know, I'm fortunate to work with or to interact with Mick Foley at WBW. He gave some good advice, good sound advice, but even him, you know, and seeing what he could do. It's good to come up now and to see this. And I don't know, man. I just know for sure it's gonna be a lot of shaking, a lot of quaking. It's gonna be very hard hitting. We're gonna both leave with headaches.
Yeah, it should be fun though, right?
But here's the thing, though, Cody. I hope in my heart of hearts it's not my last encounter with him. Whatever the outcome, I hope that we meet up again.
Definitely. So it's the last question, but it's a two-parter. Okay. And then, you know, obviously I want you to give your social media stuff out there because, you know, we want to get you on some shows, especially out here at Port Huron, wink, wink, Blue Water Championship Wrestling.
Too far from Shogun.
Yeah, that's right. So I ask everybody this question, everybody that I have on the show is, what's a great piece of advice that you've got from somebody in the locker room? And then what's a piece of advice that you would give to some of the younger guys coming in?
Okay. Boy. Let's see. Well, before I say anything, ladies and gentlemen, Shogun still views himself as a white belt. Let's just use that terminology.
Okay.
So whenever anybody asks my advice, I'm like, oh, okay. Let's think about this one.
Right.
But I always go boil down to just whatever you think yourself of as, be that. Whatever you view yourself, your inner self. Joe Rogan is a good philosopher of our time right now. Actually, he one time said, "Who is your inner superhero? What's your inner superhero?" And that takes a lot of soul searching. Not just that, that takes a lot of questioning to yourself.
Right.
And if you can master yourself, you can master a lot of other things. So personally, to me, I always tell every single person that's coming in. Actually, I just had to talk with the individuals in just like for 2 years so far the other day. And over at War and Wrestling and Respect, shout out to Lima, Ohio, he was like, he asked, what's a good piece of advice? I just said, hey, just honestly, the best thing is whatever you feel is yourself, be that. And 100% of it, not half-assing, not dipping your toe in the no. If you're gonna do something in this business, go full bore. Because here's the thing: it's better to say, you know what, I tried it, and I did it, other than just saying, I'm kind of on the fence about it.
Right.
So I mean, right now, even for Shogun, I'm reaching that point where I'm gonna have to start making some important decisions pretty soon here, and really start seeing which direction I go in terms of signing with like going to this company and trying out for this company, or trying out with this company and getting and seeing what I can do over there. So it's one of those things where it's like it's a continual, never-ending struggle, but that's the fun part of the journey.
Right.
So yeah, man, I always tell everybody, just whatever you believe in yourself, do that. And keep suplexing.
Right.
I may be suplex Shogun, but damn it, pop in some suplexes yourself. It's always
Well, now, what's a great piece of advice you've received from somebody in the locker room?
Oof, man, it's been a lot of it. Actually, in the last 4 years, right when you said, I just had like a short, like just clip of everybody. I just came to my head. My trainer actually just gave me the best advice, actually, and I was blessed to have to run into Brandon, honestly. And
so Brandon Xavier is your trainer then?
Yeah, he is the person that trained me in the beginning. Mm-hmm. I always say, like, whenever anybody asks me, hey, who did you get trained by? I always say him and Graham Wellington. Okay. And Truth and Scott Moore, God bless them, they're sharpers. They sharpen me a lot. But I would say he told me one time I was very frustrated, and one time I was just like feeling like I wasn't really doing as much or what I should be doing, whatever. And he was like, hey, wrestling this industry is a marathon, not a race. And then he pointed out, and that's funny because around that time PCO started getting more steam.
Right. And
he's like, you see PCO, and not to say that that could be you, but that's another story of a person finding, like, he was at the top at one point. He had, one of his highlights in WWE is having that great match with Bret Hart one time. Yeah. And also being with the Quebecans. So it's like that, and then he goes off for a little bit to come back. And now look at him, he's one of the, like, actually, the top faction right now in Ring of Honor. Yep. With the Villain Enterprise. So it's one of those things where everybody can grow constantly. I mean, again, I look at Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn found the fountain of youth. That man is amazing. And also, too, just people coming up. I mean, Trey Miguel, seeing where he came from, right. In his city. And even I look at people, even though I'm about to face him in a few weeks, Shane Taylor, inspiration right there. Keith Lee. I actually just came back from a Brian Cage seminar. And Brian Cage was like, yeah, Keith Lee, I saw him in Texas. And I'm like, what are you doing? Get out there. And it's just one of those things where it's like sometimes it just takes a little bit of a push from anybody. But I would say, the best advice was it's a marathon, not a race. Anything can happen at any point in time. Just be ready. Also, Desmond Xavier said that. Always be ready.
Always be ready.
Always be ready.
Like, always bring your gear, right?
Right.
So before we get out of here, shout out, thanks for coming on, but definitely let me put your social media out there. What do we got? We got Facebook. Where are you at? What's your
Shogun is on all social media aspects. Well, not all. Well, let's just break it down. We're on Facebook, Jackson Stone, ladies and gentlemen. We are on Instagram, Jackson_Stone313, and we are on the Twitter. Jackson_Stone20. Right. So you can catch some YouTube clips. I will be filming some shorts pretty soon here, so be on the lookout for that.
Oh, so you started your YouTube channel?
It'll be like a little bit of a Shogun wisdom type.
Oh, that sounds interesting. I like that. Some Shogun wisdom. Are you? And that's going to be Shogun, right? Show,
Yes.
oh,
Yes,
that's money. That's
we actually about to
money.
do a little bit right now. So I mean, like I said, man, honestly, Chloe, I gotta say thank you, man, because you, like, shows like this, fans like you, people like you, help make this business not just worth it, but make it even better to be in. So honestly, bro, like from the moment I met you, it was not just XICW, but didn't you come to a WBW show?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and yeah, just like that, man. Like all the energy you give off, everybody that associates with you. Also, Billy Ray Daniels, shout out to that guy.
Oh yeah, that guy's a nice guy, Amy.
And shout out to Cyrus, all of them. Honestly, man, like you help out a lot, not just for wrestling, but especially Michigan wrestling, bro.
Well,
And
thank you.
we have a lot of talented guys in here, and I thank you so much just for putting them on to everybody else to see.
Well, I really appreciate that because sometimes I don't hear that, but I really do appreciate that.
Well, here it is from Shogun, man, from me to you.
Right. Well, thank you so much. All right. So we definitely look forward. We're going to have you come on again sometime. And I don't know, are you going to be on the 24th for XICW for Proving Ground?
I will.
Okay. Well, I'll be there too. Me and my bros. We got a VIP suite again where we were at last time. We're going to hang out. We're going to be in there.
All right.
And we're going to do this thing. So I will see you on the 24th. And hopefully, again, wink, wink, BWCW. We should see you at a Blue Water Show very soon.
Real quick, Andrew, this is just not to you, go. Andrew, I know you hear me, Andrew. If you can, Shogun needs to suplex up there in Port Huron.
There you go. Suplex Day. All right there, Shogun. You have a great one. We'll see you on the 24th. Check you later, buddy.
Appreciate you, Cody. Later.
Have a good one, man.
We are the Death Road Army. Vehicle City villain Aaron Orion.
Black Diamond Jack Price.
The Wild Child Jody Threat.
And weaponized Alex Weir. And you're watching Rasslin Rage live on Friday nights at 8 o'clock on YouTube.